Well, good morning, family. 1 minute past the hour. It is the JDMS all over again, better known as JD Live. I am in the building. It is 1 minute past the top of the hour, no matter where you're at, no matter if you're on the East Coast, West Coast, down south, up north. Welcome to Joe Dupree Live. Hopefully, you're doing well on this morning. It is the second day of June. As the summertime is about to start kicking off, family, and it's going to be hot. We are broadcasting live on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube. You can check us out. We are at the JDMS. So definitely follow us on all social media platforms. We will be officially back on next week. I was just jumping in here a week ahead of time just to say good morning, to see how folks are doing. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It is the Joe Dupree Morning Show, Joe Dupree Live on Facebook, on Instagram, on X, on everywhere. We're just on. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And I ain't never by myself. When you see me, you're going to see somebody else too. Somebody who's going to be pimping some positivity. And speaking about pimping positivity, this show is being powered by DUBBY. Now, you can call it Dubby, you can call it Doobie. It is the energy drink that keeps us podcasters going. Check it out on my website, on my page. Also, the Essence Music Festival of Culture, the 2025 Essence Music Festival of Culture. And those who know me know that me and Essence are kind of like big time friends. But this year, 100 BLK Media is not coming to Essence by themselves. We bring in somebody who's going to pimp some positivity with us. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to definitely pimp some positivity. And speaking about Miss Positivity herself, the CEO of Pimpin' Positivity, you know her from her very own podcast, In the Driver's Seat. It is none other than my girl. Let me bring her on. There she is, Miss Alethea Crimmins is in the building.
Good morning.
Good morning on this Monday morning. It's Make It Happen Monday. What we gonna make happen today? How you doing, Alethea?
I am great. How are you?
Girl, I ain't got no smoke. You know, this is new, this is different, and but I'm used to this because I have been doing early morning stuff for a long time. So this ain't nothing new to me. I ain't new to this. I'm true to this. So getting up doing a morning show is my thing. We're gonna come in every Monday through Friday and give you 1 hour of power inspiration. We're going to give you some conversation that will inform, elevate, and transform. So I had to bring in the CEO of Pimpin' Positivity. So how was your weekend?
It was good. It was busy. I had a lot of work to do because we start filming my series today.
Okay.
So yeah, I got a
hey, talk to me about this series. What are you doing in this series? Talk to me.
Becoming You, and it's the Glow Up Chronicles, where we find women and men, because people think that is just women, that have been through some type of struggle and are having difficulties loving themselves. Okay. So what we come in and do, I have like a whole glam squad, and I come in and we give them a full makeover from top to bottom, clothes, whatever, like whatever it is that they need. Like, we do hair, makeup, clothes, the whole 9 yards. Shout out to Clothes Mentor for being our sponsors and allowing us to go in, and they get to shop and do whatever. So yeah.
So you transforming people's lives. Are we going you yes. gonna give us the before and yes. the after?
So it will be a whole show, and this will be a series, and we actually start filming today.
Okay, so what platform, once this is all filmed and these episodes come out, what platform can I catch this transformation of how you're taking people's lives and taking their looks? Because so many people are caught up on, and I understand it. They say if you look good, that's what Deion says. When I covered the SWAC and Deion was the coach of Jackson State, Deion said, if you look good, you're going to play good. You're going to be good. So when will this air? When will it start airing, and where will it air?
It will air on YouTube. It will be a YouTube web series, and we're hoping for the like middle of June-ish that it will air.
That's what I'm
And
talking about.
I also have a magazine that will also be dropping.
I saw that. I saw that.
Pimpin' Positivity magazine, and it's all things positive. It's just people going out and doing positive things in the world. So yeah, I will also have my own global magazine, because this will be all over the world. So
that's what I'm talking about. It's 6 minutes. 6 minutes past the top of the hour. Yours truly, Joe Dupree, in the building. Alethea Crimmins is in the building. Pimpin' Positivity. It is JD Live, and JD Live is a combination of hashtag Truth Be Told, community conversations, Wellness Wednesday. We just putting everything together and give you 1 hour of good conversation, waking you up, motivating you to make this day your best day. With that being said, go ahead, Alethea. Go ahead.
I also want to mention something that I just found out that I did not know, for all of the men listening, that June is not also Pride Month. It's not also my birthday month, but it's Men's Mental Health Month.
It is. Now, hold on. It's Pride Month. It's Men's Mental Health Month, and we're going to get into the conversation as we bring back hashtag Truth Be Told. We're definitely going to get into the conversation about men's mental health, men's health, period. It's your birthday month. What day is your birthday?
June 20th, Gemini season.
Okay, watch this. We're going to just go ahead and let some things out. Her birthday is June the 20th. Yeah. My birthday is June the 22nd. So she's a Gemini. She's kind of like the last end of Gemini, and I'm the first beginning of Cancer.
Yes, I'm like watch, right there at the cusp.
I knew it was something I liked about you the first day I met you. I didn't know that our birthdays were that close to one another. Watch this, family. Alethea and I are teaming up, and we're going to be at the Essence Music Festival and Culture in New Orleans. I just had to. Now, folks who know me and Essence is like peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
It's about like, because this will be, now listen, now I'm going to let some things out. So like I said, this is conversation to motivate you in the morning. Good morning to wherever you at. Be exact, you can join us on the conversation. If you want to say good morning to somebody, 225-250-8770, 225-250-8770. And like I said, we're officially, this is just really, this week, I'm just jumping on here, having fun, bantering, talking, but we'll be back officially. Everybody, to be exact, at the bottom of the hour, we're going to talk sports. I know there's some Knicks fans out there, and to all my people in New York, my heart goes out to y'all. You know, my basketball team, of course, as you see, I am a Memphis Grizzly. I represent my hometown, Memphis 10. I'm Ja Morant, 24/7, 365 with my man Edie, but we didn't make it. It looked like the Knicks didn't make it either. Pacers put it on them. But we're going to talk about that at the bottom of the hour with my man Elijah Nixon. He's going to be in. We got so many people that are going to be coming through here as we begin to bring this thing back together and give y'all a big smile on your face to start your morning with. Because there ain't nothing like waking up with some positivity, some people saying some stuff that motivates you, inspires you, informs you, and puts you in a place of nothing but pure happiness. Now, I got to be a Debbie Downer for a minute at 10 minutes past the hour. One thing I want to talk about this morning, and I don't want to get deep into this because it ain't really nothing to get deep into, but it is something to put on your mind. Folk need to pay attention to what other folk are saying and pay attention how they saying it. And here's why. I think sometimes y'all only hear what you want to hear.
Facts.
Alethea, I am convinced of that. Now, I have had people, listen, when you get into this space here, this social media space, and you get on the camera and you begin to talk and conversate, you are open to public criticism.
Oh, yes.
From all corners. You know, folks will talk about what you used to do, how you used to be. They'll bring up everything. And I don't have a problem with that because my past is my past and I own my past. But some folks I think they are so full of vile and envy and jealousy and hatred toward folk that you are connected to. Ain't necessarily you. It's folk you connected to. That they will come out and say, you lied, you did this, you did that. Recently, because I do a lot. But recently, there was a story that came out in the area that I live in, where the reporter, not Joe Dupree, the reporter gave a date and a time of a situation that was supposedly incorrect. I don't know if it was correct or not, because I wasn't even working at the place when the time it came out. But a person called me out on social media, Alethea, and said, you lied. It didn't close on that date. It closed on this date. And I went back and listened to that interview, and I was like, I didn't say when it closed. In the interview, it doesn't say that I said when it closed. Because but it let me know that people hear what they want to hear.
They do.
That person associated me with what the reporter said. Now, I'll be very honest. I was given the information by individuals who were at the agency and working at that time that said the information and the time that was given was the correct time. Now, I don't know if it was or if it wasn't, because once again, I'm only the conduit for the information. I got the information. I perceived and presumed that it was correct, and I passed it on. Now, if it's not correct, I'll come back and say, you know what? I'm not sure about that. But at the end of the day, it was never quoted in the article or even in the media. You don't hear me saying, well, this is when this happened. No. But a person come back and says, oh, you lied and this. And it's sometimes I think some folks are so busy trying to get their point across that they want to be right, because I don't need to be right. I want to be accurate. I don't need to be right, and I don't always have to win. I want what's best for the people, even if it's not what's best for me. I'm going to say that again, 13 minutes past the hour. I want what's best for the people, even if it's not what's best for me, because I have lost jobs that I really needed. And now in hindsight, I figured out that me not having that job was what was best for the people, even though it wasn't what best for me.
Because
go ahead.
Everything isn't always meant for us. And we need to get out of that me, I type of mentality, because everything that happens to us is not meant for us. Sometimes the things that we go through is not for us. It's to help somebody else. And this is what I've learned with my life. Like, I've been through so much, but I realize now that everything I've been through, yes, it was to help me grow, but it was also for me to be a testimony and to help somebody else.
Yeah. Now, as I was saying, the reason I brought this up is today, on this Monday, on the second day of June, this is the second day of June, as you start off the month of June, start listening to everything that is said, process it, and then ask yourself, do I really need to respond to this? Because everything doesn't warrant a response. And watch this. If you are going to respond, don't make yourself, because guess what? I've had people reach out to me and say, you need to respond to this person. This person called you out on social media. But I was so blessed that a very good media friend of mine called me and said, you never respond to something that's not the truth. Said there's absolutely no reason. Good morning, Willie Pickens. Good morning. Welcome. We are back in the building. Yours truly, Joe Dupree, Alethea Crimmins. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We are back in the building. But no, as I was saying, you don't have to respond. Everything doesn't warrant a response. And guess what? Me and you talked about that, because social media beef is all over the place. People will do all kind of stuff for click, like, and share. People will put your name and stuff. They will coat ride your name. They will do all kind of stuff. And I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with with folk associating them folks with certain folks and doing certain things, because I get it. Everybody's trying to get theirs. However, when you do call my name out, understand this. That let's talk, call 225-250-8770. That's my number. You could have picked up the phone and called me and said, hey, Joe, I heard that you gave this information. That information was totally incorrect. Who gave you that information?
But
Where did you get that information from?
Attention. That calling you and talking to you one-on-one does not give them attention. And that's what people want at the end of the day. They want to be seen. They want to feel like I done did something. But if something is not true, it's not gonna benefit me to respond. And I had to learn the like power of shut the hell up, because if I know that what you're saying is not true, and I just go well, then I look like there's some type of fact to it because I'm going hard on it. I don't have to say anything. And I had to learn that, because once upon a time I would go off and I'd be like, no, but it looked like I was guilty.
Right. Why do I have to respond to something that I know absolutely if I did say it, people are allowed to make mistakes. The last person I saw that work, hold on. Here's what I want to say to certain folks. The last person that I know that walked on this planet that was perfect was Jesus.
Facts.
If your name ain't Jesus, you're going to make a mistake. You're going to do a misquote. Some folks hang on that. Well, it said this. People will misquote, miswrite. People are human. We make mistakes. Now, the question is, did I make the mistake maliciously, or was it an honest mistake? Because guess what? You can't hold people to. Here's what kills me: when people want to hold you to the fire, but they don't want to hold themselves to the fire.
Yes.
Good morning, Timber Law Song. Good morning. I'm just saying, it's funny. You say something that's wrong. They want to print it out there. They want to quote. They want to quote. Yes. They want to quote legal statutes. They want to do this. They want to that. But if they misenunciate a word and you come back and say, you know what, you sounded real stupid mispronouncing that word, then why are you talking about me? Why would you wait a minute? So let me understand this. You can throw dirt on whoever you want to throw dirt on, but if somebody throws some dirt on you or correct you in your era, you can't correct. I can correct everybody, but can't nobody correct me. I disagree with that, because, like I said, there's only one person who was perfect,
and that was Jesus.
Right?
they want to look into your eyeball and take that little bit of speck out, but leave my log.
Yeah. Leave that plank.
Leave that plank. Leave mine alone.
You know, and here's another thing that makes me laugh too, Alethea. As you and I, you know, I was talking with Nakia yesterday from Essence, and Nakia said, we call you the Northern Star of Media Row. And I said, why you call that? Because she said, every time you turn in your media request every year, the one name we know that's going to be constant is Joe Dupree. She said, now your crew may change, but your name is Constance. And she brought your name up. She said, Alethea Crimmins, where do I know that name from? I said, from J HUD. And she was like, oh, yeah. She said, please. And I said, I will introduce you to Alethea as soon as we get settled in. And I told her, I said, I'll see you that Thursday. And I told her a few things, and we laughed and we joked. Here's what I want to tell people. And I want to bring up something. It's 20 minutes past the hour. At the bottom of the hour, we're going to go into sports. I want to talk about something locally that's going on, a few things locally that is going on, and something nationally. Of course, in national news right now, Alethea, folks who are, some of us still have parents that are living. Some of us have grandparents, the elderly folks. And when I say elderly, to me, elderly is 65 plus, 65 plus folks. folks who depend on social services. Now, let me clear something up here, because people get this confused. Social services includes a great deal. There is a difference between welfare and disability. They are both social services. But if you are disabled and you're getting a disability check, that doesn't mean you're on welfare. That's a big difference. That's a big difference. But regardless if you're on disability or welfare, Medicaid, Medicare, if you're on anything that the government is funding to help supplement where you might fall short at. President Trump is working this bill called the Big Beautiful Bill. That's what they call it, the Big Beautiful Bill. And it went through the House. It passed the House. Now it's going to the Senate. It will cut a lot of social services. Now, I have to give my opinion. Keyword, when you hear me talk, I'm going to give you my opinion. Doesn't necessarily mean my opinion is your opinion, but it is my opinion from my perspective and point of view. And that means it's my truth, it's my facts. Until you change my point of view or show me another set of facts, that's how I see the situation. The Bible says, what you do to the least of them, you do to me. Let me say that again. What you do unto the least of them, you do to me. And it also say the poor will be with us always, because some people just have a poverty mindset. No matter what you try to do to rise them out of poverty, they have a impoverished mindset. Their mindset is, I like being poor. I like poor mouthing. I like the perks that come with being poor. I like being that type person to go, oh, what was me?
Yes.
Look at me. Oh God, look at how they're doing me. And there are folks who just love it. There are individuals who appreciate, and it's sad, they appreciate that they don't want more than what they got. They want to be the person that says, oh, look at me, poor me. Look at how they do me. Because they have a victim's mentality. I'm not a victim. I'm victorious. I'm still that little boy who was found underneath a house, wrapped in a newspaper in an old coat. And you barely ever hear me talk about that, because I am victorious over those circumstances that was a tragedy in my life. So I don't have to always bring that up. Look at me. I'm a grown man. Be exact, about to be 58 years old if the Lord allows me to see the 22nd. And I'm proud. But we've got to get to a place where we understand the following. We got to look at things from the perspective of what it is. So this big, beautiful bill that Donald Trump has got the Senate to pass, not the Senate, the House to pass through. Excuse me, I made a mistake. Is going to the Senate. Do you not understand that should this bill make it, there's going to be a problem? Folks are going to lose a lot of benefits. There are going to be SNAP benefits cut. There's going to be benefits for after-school programs cut. There's going to be Medicare, Medicaid cut. There's going to probably even be disability cuts and cuts to veterans and their benefits that they're getting. Folks who serve this country, put their lives on the line. And big ups to all my fellow veterans out there. It is 24 minutes past the hour. At the bottom of the hour, I see him in the green room. He's getting ready. I know he ain't happy. I know he ain't happy because he a big Knicks fan. I know he ain't happy, you know. And if I could imitate my man Shannon Sharp, I was getting ready to tell him Pacers in 5. Pacers in 5. But I ain't going to do that. Look, how do you feel about these cuts that are proposed, that if this bill goes through? I'm just asking from a woman's point of view, a former educator's point of view, a grandmother's point of view, a person who ain't getting no younger herself point of view, because I ain't getting younger. I'm starting to ask myself, will there even be benefits when I'm at the point to achieve and receive the benefits that I've worked so hard for all my life? Talk to me, Alethea, before we get into sports in the next 5 minutes. Tell me something.
This is going to affect single moms. This is going to affect my mom, like my thought. Like, so what exactly do you want them to do? What exactly happens, because sometimes, like we said prior, some of these meals that these kids get at school may be the only meal that they have. Some of these moms working 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs. Food stamps is what they need to survive.
That's
Now,
right.
yes, they do have some that try to beat the like system.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
But what about those that don't? What about those that are working their ass off? And this is all that we have, because I have been there, to where, okay, Section 8, I can't pay rent, light, and food. So like Section 8 at that time helps me, so that I can provide a roof over my head and my kids' heads, until I was able to do it on my own. But on the flip side of the coin, again, I say, some people really can't be mad at what is going on, because he literally told us all of this. Right. And yet he was voted for anyway. So it's not like we didn't know what was going to happen, and people are just like, oh my gosh. No, it is no oh my gosh, because now that it's affecting the very same people that voted for him, now you have an issue. He's not for us. He is for people like him. He's for people that are in a certain class. Look at what just happened to the Chrisleys. So that means that if you have enough money, you are above the law. You are above the law. If you have enough money, then the law of the land does not apply to you.
That's something to think about. We're going to get into that conversation, so much more. Welcome to JD Live. Lethea Crimmins in the building, of course, with her very own podcast. You can catch it daily in the passenger seat with Lethea Crimmins. It is off the chain. She's got so much coming up. We're going to, after sports, we're going to talk about some other stuff she's got going on, because we're going to Orlando, Florida. We're going to talk about that. But we're back. We're back Monday through Friday, 1 hour of power. We're back. And guess what? I'm so happy to have this brother with me with his podcast. Oh, yeah. I'm going to let him tell you all about his podcast before we even get into it. Let me bring my brother on the screen. Ladies and gentlemen, my good friend, Elijah Nixon. Elijah, good morning, bruh. I'm not going to ask you how you're doing, because I know how you're doing. You doing just, hey, you like me and my grizzly. See, I came grizzlied up. Because we all fishing right now. I'm trying to catch tuna. I think y'all trying to catch a swordfish, but whatever. Good morning. Hey, tell everybody, Elijah, about your podcast, man. And thank you for being a part of this beautiful morning wake up where we get into a great conversation, but I definitely want to talk about sports. Come on, man. Talk to me.
First of all, appreciate the opportunity. But yeah, our podcast is called Fitz Take. I'm a co-host with Jamarcus Fitzpatrick, who is still a reporter out there in Lafayette, Louisiana at KATC. We talk about everything. We got softball, we got track, we got basketball, we got football.
Wasn't that wild with UCLA and Tennessee?
Yeah, we're going to get into that, man. We're going to get into that little controversial call as well. But yeah, so the Fitz Take is on YouTube now. If you want to subscribe, like, comment on any of the videos, we have a few of them out there, of course, with a couple of interviews with Malik Neighbors is one of them. We also had Jack Besh. We have a lot of guys that you go out there and check out. So it's a great podcast. We're talking to a lot of different athletes from across the world.
All right, bro. Let's get into it. I had to give you a round of applause in the horn for your podcast. We're gonna be promoting that on all my social media platforms, because that's what I'm about. I'm about elevating other folks and letting folks know we got some great folks who I have been blessed to know, meet, and work with. And Elijah is one of them. Yo, Knicks, man. Yo, listen. Yo, Knicks and some other folks, because I got New Yorkers that be all over here. Man, I thought New York was going to do it this year. I said to myself, this was the year for New York. But and I also thought it was going to be New York and the Timberwolves, so I was completely wrong. Talk to me. What happened? What happened?
I'm gonna tell you what happened, man.
Pacers in 5.
The Knicks made me upset this weekend. I mean, of course, I didn't think it was gonna be Boston. I did not think it was going to be Boston. I mean, we got swept 4-0 in the regular season, and then we got to the divisional round. We beat them 4-2. I'm like, hold on, this may be a different Knicks team. But then they go wet the bed again. Here we go in the Eastern Conference Final against the Pacers, who I thought we was way better in. But I tell you what happened. Star showed up on one side of the court, and I'm talking about Karl Towns and Mikal Bridges. Those two guys. Mikal did well in some of his aspects of, trying to defend Tyrese, but when it came to the high pick and roll, it's like he couldn't catch the guy. And then after that, Tyrese could do whatever he wanted. I'm not saying he's not a special guy, but I didn't think he's the greatest out there. Wasn't playing against an MVP level kind of guy. But Mikal didn't do well guarding him. And then it's Karl Anthony Towns, who showed flashes of what he can be. This is what I like about Karl. Karl could get you a bucket. Karl could sit back and shoot the basketball. But Karl can't defend an ant.
Wait a minute. Stop, Elijah. So, Alethea, are you into basketball?
Listen, at this segment,
but besides seeing them handsome
show,
chocolate men run up and down, I'm just asking.
At this segment, I'm just here to be pretty. Okay, so y'all just go.
Okay. So in other words, so Towns couldn't even guard Alethea. In other words, Alethea could score some buckets on them. Is that what you're telling me, Elijah?
Yeah. I'm just checking. If you played, you probably got 20 points on. You probably got 20 points on. I would break it down to the point where how you was coming off. You know how you said some people need Section 8. Well, some people need to play defense. And this guy couldn't go out there and guard anything. He could not guard anything. Karl is special, 7-foot giant, and he always talk about how he wants to be the best, or he is the best shooting big man that the league has ever saw. But the thing is, we didn't ask you to be a shooting big man. We asked you to get down there, get dirty on the block, and do your thing. Now, it was times where he did do that, but then it was ill-advised threes that he'll take a long three, he'll go off the rim, and the next thing you know, they're running in transition. Pacers got an easy 2 with sometimes an and 1 bucket. So shout out to the Pacers. The Knicks did hurt my feelings yet again. But at the same time, I mean, what can you expect? It's the Knicks.
So Elijah, we now got OKC in Indiana. Who you feel going to come out victorious and be the next NBA champions? I'm just curious.
I don't want to sound like a hater, but Pacers down, OKC in 5.
Okay. OKC in 5.
OKC. I don't think we go further than that. I think OKC they could change the pace.
105.
Yeah. I think they could change the pace. I think they could run with any team. I think they could score. Of course, you see with Shea, he could score and get to the basket anything. He could post up. He could shoot the 3. He could do whatever he can. But then he has a great supporting cast with the Williams, and then he also has Chet Holmgren that could play really well in that bench led by Alex Caruso. So OKC looked like the well-complete team. I don't want to sound like a hater because the Pacers knocked out my Knicks, but I didn't think we was going to beat the Thunder anyway. So I got the Thunder at 5.
Okay, so let me do this right now. Had to scratch that. We're going to go somewhere because, Alethea, I need you in this. I want to go into conversation, and I know it's early. I know folks are saying, man, why are you talking football in June? I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm still feeling some kind of way over this Shedeur Sanders stuff. And I haven't been on here to talk about it, but I want to talk about it now. You know, as Alethea is a mother of a African-American male.
Yes.
I am upset with sometimes how they try to handle Black excellence when it's not chained. When Black excellence is unchained, there are certain individuals who really don't want to see Black males be great. And me and Alethea had this conversation a few days ago. They don't have a problem with putting Black females up front. And let me say this to all my beautiful Black queens out there. I know it. Hold it. Let me hit you with some hustle and flow. I know it's hard out here for Black women. Say that again, Elijah.
Low. You know the song.
Okay. I'm just it's hard out here for them. I understand it. But when black men are unchained with black excellence, bro, they try to make an example out of us. They try what they did to Shador. What they did to Shador, I am still trying to figure this out. I cannot stand the Cleveland Browns because I am a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. But I hope Cleveland whoop everybody tail except my black and yellow. I hope that when the season is done, that the only person that they got to run into with problems is my Steelers. Now, I was upset that my Steelers didn't get Shador, but I was very proud that the quarterback they got from Ohio State, at least they got a battle-tested guy who's went through the playoffs and won a championship. But I really wanted Shador myself to be in a black and yellow uniform. But let me ask you this, Elijah, because you're into sports and you're really into it more than I am. And that's crazy because a lot of folks don't know. I used to be the regional director and program director for ESPN Radio out of Baton Rouge when it was at WIBR before it went over to Guaranteed Broadcasting. So I was the first black guy who was running ESPN Radio in Louisiana. How did you feel with how they handled Shador during the draft? I'm just curious. Talk to me.
Mixed emotions, honestly. And I'll be honest with you. Yes, I feel like some stuff, he should have never fell down to that round or round 4 to be selected. I think that he was more talented than some of those guys that was, the Jackson Darts and the Dylan Gabriels. I think he was definitely more talented than that. But another part of me was like, hey.
He didn't go to the combine.
He didn't go.
But what quarterbacks do? Let me ask that. Hold it. What quarterbacks do?
I think me personally, I think they go for interviews. I didn't think it was more so of how's performance on the field. I think it was the interviews, and I think that's what people didn't want to do. Think about it. We're in a generation where some people don't want to give up power. Right. Head coaches, owners, GMs. If you walk in there with that aura, like, hey, I'm the guy, and you don't need nobody else. At the end of the day, you still, to me personally, you're still asking for a job. I can't go for an interview today and say, you need me. Well, you got four other candidates.
Right. You know I'm hey, you don't know me, I'm Elijah Nixon.
Yeah, I can't do that. And I think Shador, that was the reason why he fell off. I don't think it was no talent. I don't think it was talent-wise. I don't think his dad had anything to do with it. Now some part of it can be his skin color, because some people are intimidated by, So
you don't think Deion had? You don't think they said if we get Shador? Because Alethea, let's just be real about this. It's like when you dating a woman. Let's say that Alethea was Shador's mama. I understand if I'm dating Alethea and Alethea is Shador's mama, I got to deal with Deion. I got to deal with Deion. Yeah. Listen, you can like it, leave it, or love it. You got to deal with it. Deion gonna walk in there and come with some rhythmic conversation that gonna make you look like a clown. I can see it right now. Yeah, this is my baby mama, and you see her new man who, I got time today. And Jesus know he gonna hit you with the Jesus. He got time today, and you gonna be sitting there going, "Man, I'm dating a little man."
I got another thing. How you feel about this, Miss Alethea? I come in, you have a daughter. I'm dating your daughter. You don't know me from a can of paint, but you invited me over just to meet me. I said, I walk in the house. I think that you should already know who I am, and I walk right into your refrigerator and open up the refrigerator.
No, because get out. No. Because who the hell is this little boy?
She said no.
He has no home training. Where did you find this little boy at?
Exactly.
Yeah. But when you say like black excellence, which is what he is, which is what we are, I think that people have a problem with it because it shatters the narrative that people are comfortable with. That's why they have an issue with us, because it shatters that narrative. Like people are comfortable with us staying in our lane. And when we come in all cocky, when we come in knowing who we are, but they don't like that because who are you?
I like that, Alethea. You said the key word there.
No,
It's funny how certain quarterbacks who are not melanated can come in and they seem to be very confident. But if we come in the same posture that they come in, we are, even to some of us, that word you just used, cocky.
Yes.
No, I think Shedeur was very confident. And I can say that because in 2 seasons of being the Jaguar football show with Coach Terrence Graves, being the one of the executive producers, being the sideline reporter, being at every game, for 2 straight seasons, I saw Shedeur Sanders run through the SWAC like a hot knife and butter.
Oh yeah.
And did not lose a game. Did not lose their game. Now there's some folk out there saying, but that was the SWAC. Well, wait a minute. That's the same SWAC that produced Doug Williams, Aeneas Williams, Mel Blunt, man, I can go on through a whole list of names of folk. John Stallworth. I can name Jerry Rice. I can name a whole bunch of folks that came from, but that's the SWAC. That boy went through the SWAC like a hot knife and butter, because Jackson State had 2 back-to-back undefeated seasons. I'm just saying. And I want to shift right now. Y'all think about that. Y'all ponder about it. It's 42 minutes past.
Can I just say
come on in. Come on in. Say it.
It's different when a Black person walks into a room owning their greatness. They are unbothered. They're educated. They are successful and unapologetically who they are. It challenges everything that this world has tried to teach us about what Blackness is supposed to look like.
All right, we're going to hit the brakes on that. 2 minutes left before my man Elijah got to get gone. Elijah, we got to throw it out there. I was watching softball. Why? Because Memphis is my hometown. Tennessee is my home state. And if anybody knows, I'm still celebrating because we are still the defendant until somebody else win it this year. We are still the defendant College World Series champion, Tennessee Volunteers. Did you see my Lady Volunteers? Did you see that? Okay.
Yeah.
Look at this boy here. Talk to me.
Yeah, I think this is a well put together team. I think with Pickens, she could pitch very, very well. Now, it was controversial with the home run. I want to know your thoughts on this. I don't know if you really watch softball or baseball or anything, or Miss Alethea, if I said your name right.
I'm here to be pretty.
She being pretty for about 2 more minutes before we get you out of here.
So UCLA hits a home run. She runs around all the bases, but on home plate, she misses the home plate, and they still gave her the run. What are your thoughts on that before I take off on that? Do you think that she still should have had the point, or do you think that, hey, she missed the home plate because you have to hit home plate to score? Do you think that, hey, they should have never gave her the point? Tennessee should have won right there, because that's how they went.
No, because why would I give you something that you didn't earn?
Say that again. Hold it. You don't now. Hold on, Alethea. Okay, Alethea said, "I'm just here to be what?
Pretty, but
okay." And you know very little about what? Hold on. You know very little about what? Sport?
Baseball. Yeah. Okay. I don't know nothing. But I do know what's right is right. And I don't care if you ran all 85. I don't care if you didn't miss not one. If you missed the one that was supposed to give you the point, why am I giving you a pass? For what?
Well, thank God that Tennessee came back and in the end, they won by 1 point. With that being said, listen, Elijah, once again, tell everybody about your podcast, where they can catch your podcast. I know you're getting ready to get up out of here.
Maybe I can learn something next time.
Right. Hold on. You gonna see. Hold it. Let me just let it out. Elijah will be with us Monday through Friday every day for 15 minutes to give us everything in sports. So what we missed today, we're gonna get tomorrow. And once again, Pacers in 5. Go ahead, Elijah. Let us know about the podcast, baby.
On YouTube, you can catch on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, whatever platform, every audio or visual platform you can have. It's called The Fitz Take, not First Take. I know you probably going to write that. It's Fitz. F-I-T-Z Take. It's called The Fitz Take Podcast. We have a lot of interviews and we have a lot of things like that. So I hope you guys can catch it.
He gonna send me a flyer. I'm gonna post that on all my social media. Look, we'll catch you in the morning, Elijah. You have a good one. Thank you for coming in here and giving us a little bit on sports. We will see you soon. Y'all give it up. My man, Elijah Mitchell. You see him right there. Elijah Nixon, 18. You see him. All right, brother. We'll talk to you later. It is me and Alethea back at it, y'all.
He gonna have me watching sports so I could try to get into the conversation.
That's all right. Like I told you, we doing this. We're gonna be having Sean P up in here. We're gonna have my man Chris Morant in here. We're gonna have a lot of guests and a lot of folks coming through. And of course, Jax. What's up, Jackie Jax? Jackie Jax, it is your early morning wake up. Get up, wake up and get it going. And know that you're here with the CEO of Pimpin' Positivity, Miss Alethea Clemens. You can catch her. You're welcome. And you can catch with her podcast, in the passenger seat. Look, as it is 13 minutes to the top of the hour, and we're going to be out of here in 13 minutes. It's 1 hour and 1 hour only. That's how we're doing it. So I want to get back to some conversation that we were on. And this is a local conversation because there's a lot of things going on locally. I live in a place called Lafayette, Louisiana. I work in a place called Opelousas, Louisiana, which they are neighboring cities, neighboring counties or parishes, depending on what you know. Because some folks is like, what's a parish? A parish is a county, and that's what they call it in Louisiana.
Yes.
We're the only state in the union that does that. I'll explain that on another day. But, with so much going on with crime, social, economic disparities, food deserts, so much going on, folk are into conversation about politics and what's happening in their communities. Here's my new saying. You got a group of folks, all they're going to do is criticize. You got another group of folks, all they're going to do is co-sign and talk. You have maybe very few folks that are going to be change makers, doers, and bring about a positive result to the community that people begin to understand that they are the people, boots on the ground, working, not talking about it, but being about the change they want to see. And I want more doers to show up in our community. I want more doers to show up and be involved with the youth, the elderly, and fellow citizens of their community to make this place a better place for all of us. There are some who don't have a voice, and some of us have to be the voice for the voiceless. I'm just not at the place no more that I'm going to push people's agendas because I'm getting paid in the background to push that agenda. Because a lot of folks, the only reason they're talking the way they're talking is either they're getting paid to talk that way, or they have stopped getting paid to talk the way that, so they're mad at folks. See, because here's what I always tell folks. When people are talking about me, tell them to tell you the times that I let them borrow $50, $100, when I helped them keep their lights on, when I didn't even have my own bill money, split my bill money to help them pay some of their bills. Tell them to tell you that while they're talking about me in a negative light. Not only tell them to tell you about the times I helped them, but tell them to tell you about the times when we were friends and I listened to them talking about other folks, but never once said anything about what they said about other folks to them other folk.
But it is the minute that you do right, please.
Where my?
But it is the minute that you do something that they don't like, or the minute that you go against what they think that you should do, now all of a sudden you are the problem. Now you didn't have any issue with me when I was your solution. But now that I have become the problem because of the one time that I said no, the one time that I said, you know what, I can't do it because I have to do something for myself. Now you have a problem. Well, then that just shows me the type of person that you were. Like you were never really for me, because as long as I was for you, you were for me. But now that I'm for me, you're not with me at all. I don't need those type of people in my life because I can do bad by myself. I don't need you to take me down with you.
9 minutes to the top of the hour. We're about to get up out of here. Here's what I want to say. We have a lot of conversation. Right. We have a lot of conversation in Opelousas about a tax renewal. We got a lot of conversation in Lafayette about, is the mayor president doing what she should do, because it's the Black folks that voted her in. I'm going to make a quick comment on both, and I'm going to say no more. Hold your elected officials accountable. I live in Lafayette. I worked for the prior administration. I have no problems with the administration that is in place right now. I am thankful to live where I live and to be a part of this great community. You've got to get engaged. You got to be informed, and you've got to sit and listen before you speak sometime. In Opelousas, all I can say is I support the renewal of the tax, even though I don't live in Opelousas. And here's why. If Opelousas is struggling right now with everything in place the way it is, how do you think Opelousas is going to function if it's $6 million short because a renewal doesn't pass? It's just like here in Lafayette, we had a renewal for some taxes that were on the ballot when everybody said no to everything that Jeff Landry was trying to do. And you do understand, if these taxes don't get renewed here in Lafayette Parish, there will be friends and family of yours and mine who work for the city, who work for government, who may lose their job. Keyword, may. I'm not sure if they will or if they won't. There will be services cut. And if you haven't noticed, with this big, beautiful bill, they're trying to cut a lot of services that serve Black and brown and underdeprived and underprivileged communities. We just got to stop fighting amongst one another. Let's sit at a table and say, I can work with you to make where I live better. I don't have to agree with you. It is 6 minutes to the top of the hour. I just wanted to say that. And once again, if anybody has anything they want to talk to me about, that's my phone number, 225-250-8770. First of all, let me make this clear. And I wanted to say this, and I waited to do it on my own platform. If you feel like I've said something that was incorrect, that's my phone number. Call me and say, hey, either you said it incorrectly on purpose, or you didn't know what you need to know. Let me educate you. And I will listen to you, and I will say, oh, my bad. Okay, it is what it is. And trust me, I will even come on this platform and say, hey, I made this quote. After further review, I found out that I got wrong information. But when you have the mitigated gall and audacity to try to call me out and call me a liar, all I can do is tell you is sticks and stones might break my bones, but words are just that. All you doing is talking loud and really saying nothing, because we all make mistakes, and I have made plenty of them, and I misquote a plethora of things. I have tons of podcasts that you can go back and say, Joe, you said this on, and yeah, I misquoted myself. I said it the wrong way. I should have said it another way. I'm human. With that being said, it's 5 minutes to the top of the hour. We're getting ready to get up out of here. Alethea, I know you getting ready to film this great new series that's going to be on YouTube. I'm going to give you the opportunity to get some closing words in, and we're going to get ready to get up out of here. It's 5 minutes to the top of the hour. It has been 1 hour of power, and that's how we do it. You know, hashtag Truth Be Told, community conversation, Wellness Wednesday. It's all rolled up into one as we wake you up in the morning. Welcome to Get Up, Wake Up, Wake Up, Wake Up. Alethea, the floor is yours.
I just want to say a lot of people do things and talk about people and messy and all this other stuff because they are in pain. There are a lot of people out there that are hurting, but let me tell you this: your pain happened to you, but it does not need to become you. Your pain happened to you, but it's not supposed to become you. You are not broken. You are not buried. Stop trying to take other people down with you because you are hurting. Lift people up, because just like I said that I can do bad by myself, then Jax piggybacked and said, but you can also be great by yourself. You can also be great by yourself. So what I need you to do is go out there, pick your head up, fix your face, and be great in their face. And as always, have a good day on purpose. You're welcome.
That was my girl, Alethea Crimmins. I got to ring the bell. Thank you, Alethea. 3 minutes to the top of the hour. Yeah, family, I told you it's going to be 1 hour. We're going to give you a little something. I want you to get up this morning. First of all, know that the Most High, God himself, allowed you to wake up this morning. And he allowed you to wake up because he got work for you to do. So go out there and do some good work. I want to say this to y'all, kind of wrapping up some of the conversation from this Make It Happen Monday. Remember that a fact, depending on the source that you got the fact from, is really objective information. And an opinion is a personal belief. Ignorance is a lack of the facts, and stupidity is the rejection of the facts in favor of opinions. As I always tell y'all, listen, be better today than you were yesterday, and do something today to bless somebody, to help somebody, to put a smile on somebody's face. Do something today that there's no earthly way that what you do to whomever you do it to, they could pay you back. And always remember that there is no secret, absolutely no secret, none whatsoever, what God can do. What he has done for others, he will and he can do for you. For when God is with you, I'm telling you, nothing or nobody can stand against you. Listen, we're back. That's all I can say. We're back. It's been real. It's been fun. Oh, my God. I'm getting ready to get up out of here. Hopefully, y'all have a great day. I pray that God be with you. I love you. It ain't nothing you can do about it. We'll holler. Peace. We up out of here. Until tomorrow. It is Tell the Truth Tuesday. We out. Peace.